What is up, guys? We are back with another Average gaming video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how you guys can do better while solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys go down and drop a like on the video and also subscribe and turn on notifications. But yeah, getting right into the video, this will help you guys who are solo queuing and also queuing with two people. Anywhere like above that, you really won't have this problem. But when you do play with randoms in Rainbow Six Siege, you basically have a 50-50 chance to find a good team that knows how to kind of play well together and like able to actually win the round. So it's pretty much up to luck unless you kind of use this method. This really can help and definitely gives you a greater chance of winning with actual randoms. So one of the biggest things that you're going to want to do is just not get mad at your teammates. No matter what they do, if they lose a clutch or they lose something that they really should have won, just don't get mad at them. If you get mad and start a fight, it's just going to end up losing you the round, basically guaranteed, as someone will probably get team killed, or they'll just leave, or they'll throw, or something like that. So just make sure you always try to be as nice as possible to your teammates. And another thing that you really are going to want to do is play characters that help out the team. A lot of times when you roam in solo queue and you're kind of the carrying factor and your other teammates aren't doing so well, if you roam and then die, you're basically screwed. So yeah, it's really helpful to roam. I mean, it's really helpful to play like a rook or someone like that can help out the team and play like an anchor position. As like, yeah, when you're anchoring, it's a lot easier to get those clutch situations as the enemies have to come to you, and if you die, it's not the end of the world. And yeah, your teammates as roamers could maybe get a couple clutch kills, but you don't have to completely rely on them. And yeah, when you're roaming and they're playing on the actual point, then you really have to rely on them to not die, which a lot of times you can't do, which is a big problem. And another huge problem when you're playing with, say, 4 random people is there's a high likelihood of someone disconnecting or just leaving for a completely unknown reason. I know it happened to me a lot, and it's happened to the team that I'm facing a lot. And I know this can seem like you're basically screwed, but really a 4v5 at not the super high ranks like, say, gold and down, maybe even low platinum and down, a 4v5 is completely doable. Except really if you have just a completely garbage team that doesn't want to listen at all, it can be pretty much impossible, but it is doable if you try to work out some strategies with your team, kind of get them to work with what you're saying. And the way you want to do this is just try to talk in a way that seems like you're trying to help the team and not trying to like boss them around, as when people get that impression, they really won't listen to you, and it kind of creates the opposite effect. So just try to kind of help your team and push them in a positive direction that will help you to like have a better kind of team comp and chance of winning. I know, yeah, it seems like it's impossible once someone leaves, but really it's not, and it's completely doable to win a 4v5, as one kill just evens it out, and one kill really does not take much. So yeah, 4v5s are not impossible, despite they might seem impossible, but a lot of people don't think about this, and once they get into that 4v5 situation, they just completely shut down. They say, okay, it's over and we're not gonna win this, and they just basically give up on the game, which yeah, you just need to tell your team that it's not over, we can still win this, and yeah, it's completely doable. But there are some games where really you have no chance of winning, as sometimes your team that you match up with just does not care at all. They're just kind of trolling. You can't convince them really to kind of give it a serious effort, and it's pretty much impossible to 1v5 every single round. So that can happen. It doesn't have to happen often where everyone on your team is just completely screwing around and or throwing, or everyone leaves or something. That rarely happens. But if say one person is kind of messing around, it's doable, or one person leaves, or just one person's not doing something, which happens a decent amount, but it rarely occurs where more than like one person does that. And a lot of times, even when someone is screwing around, you can convince them to kind of try. And yeah, once you get your team to kind of try and you convince them to, say, switch off of a character that's not working well in a good way, then yeah, it definitely really helps your chances of winning. Another big thing that you're going to want to try to convince your team to not do is one, spawn peek when you're defending, as a lot of times it turns out going very badly, especially if they're not good at it, which is the case in like a lot of times. And also just playing hyper aggressively, just pushing everything, or kind of just leaving the team and running on their own. I know sometimes you cannot prevent against this, but a lot of times you can if you just ask them to. If you just say like, hey, can you come with the team? It'd be better if we all push together. A lot of times that works, and all you have to do is just ask. I know a lot of people really won't ask, but just doing that really can change the whole flow of a game and completely change the outcome, as having one person just run around, like go for like crazy kills as Ashe, can sometimes work and get like a 1v or get like 3 quick kills or something, but most of the time they die, and that one time it worked really is not worth it for the other 5 times that they just die. So yeah, try to convince people to not do that, and don't do it yourselves. And I would recommend for you guys to kind of assess your team after, say, the first or second round, and just say to yourself, like, are they trying? Are they doing well? And if they're, say, playing like Rook and operators that are meant to stay on site, then you can obviously then play a roamer to fill that role. And yeah, if you can kind of rely on your team a bit, then you can play that roamer role, and it could be very beneficial to your team, but in a lot of cases it won't be. I know that a lot of times I really just want to play like a roamer, but my team really isn't doing that well, and we need someone to stay on site, like a Rook or something, and I kind of have to switch to that. And I would recommend for you guys to do the same, and then play your roamer in like a casual match or something like that, so you can still have fun with them. You can do some pretty cool just like spawn piece if you're into that, and yeah, just kind of save the crazy stuff that's high risk to casual for the most part if you really want to get those wins, as yeah, that would help you guys a lot in getting more wins. But yeah, that is really it for this kind of guide on how to do well when you're solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Hopefully you can get more wins in R6 and just like kind of have a better time with your matches. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe and drop a like on the video, and also turn on notifications as I do live streams, and having those notifications on really helps out, and would like alert you guys of when I'm actually doing a live stream, and you'd be able to get to the stream when it's actually going on, which is pretty fun because you can talk and chat and stuff. And without those notifications on, you really won't be able to get to the stream, or you're most likely not going to see it, which would not be good. So make sure to turn those on. And yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next Avershire Gaming video.